Today's second Viewer Friday video begins now. Yo, what is up, Crocs and Clown members, Poker fans, and others who have some fun this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and as I said, this is the second viewer requested video for today. It is another top 10. If you haven't checked out the one that I uploaded earlier, please feel free to do so. I'm going to be talking about my top 10 Pokemon movies, which was suggested by Ash Ketchum. So let's get started. And as always, this is just my opinions, so let's calm down. Now, number 10, I have Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction. Now, Diancie and the Cocoon of Destruction was a movie that this is the most recent one. It's the most recent one. And the problem with it, though, is that and the reason why it's so low on the list, it had a lot of potential. It did, but just failed to execute certain things. The Mega Diancie thing was really, it felt like it was last minute, so it didn't feel as powerful as it should have. And also the whole Yveltal thing showing up at the end was really, I mean, the movie was supposed to be about Yveltal, and he doesn't even show up till like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Kieran versus the Sword of Justice hits our number 9 spots, and this is a movie that when I first saw it, it was I wasn't going in expecting too much. I wasn't really a fan of the Musketeers. The only one that I actually liked was Virizion, and we didn't even get to see the Pokemon. We didn't see Virizion for the majority of the movie, so it wasn't like I was really hyped for it. But I do like the development that they did with Keldeo, and the final fight versus Kieran was actually pretty good. It's just there were, again, things could have been better. Now, coming in at number 8, I have Destiny Deoxys, which technically for me I have mixed feelings with. For one, the fight between Rayquaza and Deoxys was great in my opinion. It was really awesome. I loved what was going on. And it made it even better when it was like 2 Deoxys versus Rayquaza. But at the same time, we also got to see some of the things that made Ash look lackluster, which was the double battle tournament. Like, first of all, the kid he ended up battling with was a nobody. He had no Pokemon of his own, and he was even scared of them. Now that does go into like some kind of development for the character, but fuck, I mean, he used fucking Torkoal. What the fuck? Oh gosh, that was like the worst option he could have even given the kid. And there was just other things that just didn't click. Now, standing in at number 7, I have Arceus and the Jewel of Life, which to me is the only one that is actually an actual movie. I mean, well, there's also the Zorak one, but it's the only one I cared about, mainly because I felt like the Darkrai movie and the Giratina movie were setups for the Arceus movie. So I honestly feel like it's a trilogy that was just building itself up, and Arceus was the last one. And hell, like, it showed off the God Pokemon in glory. Well, technically, kind of. See, that one of the things that really held back this movie on the list is the fact that this Pokemon created the freaking world, and they made him look like a weak ass in certain parts of the movie, and a rage monster. Like, it's a hater. Like, it just wants to destroy the world because of crap that made no sense. But it's still a good movie. It's still a great conclusion to that storyline, so I'll give it that at least. Now the hate comes in. Starting us off at number 6, I have Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. Yes, it's an old. The rest of them are gonna be old. I'll tell you that right now. But Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, it was a very good Ash-centered movie. It was basically all about Ash and the fact that he has the power of the aura, which they actually have translated into the show. They've shown it in the past. I wish it was a more prominent thing that we would see more often. Like, if they actually gave Ash, even a Riolu, to just justify this thing, because they do mention it, but it's so, like, it's not as frequent enough to people where people will forget about it. But it introduced that whole fact that Ash has the power of the aura, just like Lucario. So it had that, and we also got to see Mew and the interaction that it had with Pikachu and the gang, and it was damn good. And the ending, fuck, like spoilers. I mean, even though these movies are like 10 years old, at the very end when Lucario and Ash are trying to save Mew, and then Lucario basically sacrificed himself. That was amazing. Now, number five, I have Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. Now, there's two main reasons why I like this movie. One, it was May centered, because May is my favorite female companion. Straight up. It was May centered, and it introduced the character, or like the trainer class that I really enjoy, and I love the spin off games. Okay, I love the Pokemon Rangers franchise. I wish there was another one that would come out for the 3DS, but you know, we're just gonna have to live without it. But I love the fact that May was the main focus of the movie. May, the Manaphy stuff. Manaphy's one of my favorite. Baby legend, like, well, not baby legend, but the tiny small legendaries. And it was just it was nice to see that kind of like May was the hero, and that like the stuff with Manaphy and the villains were crazy. It was all May, so it was really good to see that be pushed for this movie. Number four, Pokemon the First, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Okay, this is the first movie, right? And this was actually supposed to culminate the series. Like, the original plan was for this to be the last thing in the entire franchise, but then they decided to extend it and create an entire universe that now a lot of people love and hate. So the Mewtwo stuff was great. Like, Mewtwo as a character was so fleshed out. He's probably the most fleshed out main like Pokemon character outside, like in the movies realm. I really wish that they had translated him into the actual anime and we actually got to see more of him. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. We also had the first time that we see death in the series with Ash dying when he gets blasted to all hell. That was ridiculous. I remember I watched this in the theaters, and I remember every kid, and I was one of them, that was crying when Ash died. It actually brings emotion. At least the earlier movies, they bring a lot of emotion into these things. Now, on number three, I have Pokemon Forever. Now, Pokemon Forever is the Celebi / Suicune movie, which to me was an emotional roller coaster. First of all, we see the concept of dark Pokemon and being caught in dark Pokeballs, which I'm pretty sure it was just a thing for the movie itself, because we haven't seen that stuff outside of that. But we get to see Celebi and Pokemon actually turning evil because of corruption and darkness and stuff. We see the death of a Pokemon again. We see the death of a Pokemon being Celebi. The revival. We see Suicune doing his thing. Suicune is my favorite of the bees. So just having him show off how he's a badass and actually creating a kind of healing pool for Celebi to be revived. And the little, oh my, that thing at the end where that was a nice, neat little thing that they did. Because we were just seeing Ash and the gang meeting this kid, and they were doing the thing with him. And they were just having an adventure with him. But at the end, we kind of get a nice wrap up of everything, because the kid is from the past, and it ends up being Professor Oak. Like the anime characters didn't notice it, but it was a nice nod to the viewer. Like, hey, this is just to let you guys know, this Professor Oak is the Sam, the kid we saw. So that's kind of, it was a nice thing to see at the end. Now, at number two, I have Pokemon Heroes, which is the Latios and Latias movie, which are some of my favorite legendaries, to be quite honest. Both of them, like, straight up. Latios and Latias, though, this also has my favorite opening version. Like, it has my favorite song, which is Master Quest, and that's in the top 10. So you guys already got the spoiler for number one. If you guys don't want to see that, but anyways. This movie had so many things going for it. For one, the race at the beginning was a nice way to start the series, or start the movie. We have this kind of weird romance between, we actually get some kind of confirmation that people in Pokemon can be together because Latias apparently fell in love with Ash and they actually kissed while Latias was in like shape shifting into a human form. So that is kind of a thing, I guess. It was shown. Also, the villains were dark as hell. Those bitches were going in. They were gonna destroy the town. They were gonna do some crazy shit. Like these were real thieves. These were real villains right there. And you cannot sit there and tell me that you did not cry when Latios died. Okay, you cannot just sit there and tell me that you did not cry when that boy like literally gave up his life to save everybody and died. Like that was one of the most emotional things ever. And I mean, it was amazing though. It was really great. And finally, at number one, I have Pokemon 2000. Yes, the one Lugia movie. No, I'm just kidding. But that is one of the main reasons why it's at number one. Lugia is my favorite Pokemon of all times. It always has been. Well, it has been since I first saw it. Uh, and it hasn't moved from my spot. And it was a movie that was centered around that. We also had my Ash and Misty moments in there were just beautiful as hell. Misty and the thing with that other chick, Melody, the arguments like that's actually because of her that we finally have some confirmation of that Misty has like really strong feelings for Ash. And also, this was an epic journey. Okay, this was collecting those spheres were basically life and death situations, and this was the best Team Rocket has been in a movie, in my opinion. This was the one movie where they actually were working together with the gang because they needed to stop this shit. Like they were actually like doing everything in their power to make sure Ash got these spheres. And that music, that OST, Lugia's song is the best OST track in my opinion to this day. I freaking love that song. It is amazing. Slowking was a beast. Like you can't like that dude was going in there explaining shit in like the craziest voice ever. And the villain literally embodies what a lot of people do. Like he is kind of like us. He's a collector. He doesn't care about Pokemon in terms of like them as creatures. He just wants them for his collection box, which is something that we do. Like most of the time, we just catch Pokemon and put them in the PC. So it kind of has that kind of like real world connection right there. So that's just kind of why it's my favorite movie. Well, that's gonna be it for this top 10. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, this is my opinions. This is just what I think. This is what I like. Feel free to leave yours in the comments section down below with your list. Also, if you're new to the channel, feel free to check out all the other videos on the channel. See if you like them. If you do, I would really appreciate it if you join the Crockxen clan. Also, drop a like down below and favorite, share, all that social stuff. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, Twitch if you want. Really, I mean, I'm not really streaming there right now. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys want to support me, we really appreciate it. I just started the campaign, and there's some perks. So if you guys do donate, there are different tiers, rewards that you guys can get. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.